accessibility access.
Many young locals have been enjoying spending their time at the Salford Youth Zone.
We will be live at the Salford Community Centre after sanctions have been placed on the Salford Red Devils.
Walkden train station has received criticism of its accessibility for passengers who want to use the trains. The only way to get to the platform is by walking up 40 stairs, with no lift and ramp and no plans for one to be built until 2027. Residents have become annoyed. Abigail Homewood, our reporter, gives us more details.
I'm here at Walkden train station following reports of accessibility issues. Now you may be wondering what these are. Behind me there are 20 stairs and below me there are 20 more. And these 40 stairs are actually the only way to get onto the platforms and access the trains. Now, not only is this an issue for people who use wheelchairs or have any accessibility issues anyway, this is also an issue for people who have prams, bikes, things that require a little bit extra that you might need a lift for. When we spoke to the workers, we actually learned that there's never been a lift, despite what it says online. They do have plans to put this lift in place, hopefully for about 2027. Just behind me is where they said it will come into play. But because of the mining grounds that it's on, it's actually uneven, and that is the reason why they have claimed that there's not been a lift so far. But we spoke to people on the train station platform to see what they had to say about it.
I think it is unfair for people who do have disabilities because obviously they do need to use this transport system as well. If they can't get up there, then they're kind of screwed really in terms of what else do they have.
This is such it's such a big area.
I know it's busy. Yeah.
And it's a train station.
I know it's the only one around here as well, like properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there should be. I think there's plenty of space to get one in there. It just makes it so much more accessible for people who are not as fortunate.
Even then, it's adding more to the cost because if they can't use this train station, then they'll go off at say get a taxi, get a bus to further places and such.
Well, I've lived here now for 15 years and it's been the same since I've been here, so I don't know why it's something as long as they start considering to install it. I think it should have happened years ago, to be completely honest.
With colder nights on the way, some Salford families and businesses are already feeling the pressure of rising energy costs. Our reporter Abby Jones has been finding out how people are coping and how the city's Warm Spaces scheme is helping residents this autumn.
Last night's autumn equinox marks the beginning of shorter days and the start of colder nights ahead, and for many in Salford, it signals the return of rising heating costs. For some residents, places like Pendleton Library are more than just a source of books. Library visitor Deborah Ojo explains why.
It can be a welcoming place to be. It's not strictly for any kind of thing, but anybody can come in. They feel cold. Obviously, it's comfortable to stay warm in here. Everybody's welcoming.
Salford City Council encourages Salford residents to use community hubs, libraries and cafes as warm spaces to help cope with the colder months ahead.
But local businesses are feeling the squeeze too. Jackie Grieve, who works at the Mental Marathon Cafe, explains how they are keeping customers comfortable while closely monitoring energy bills.
We're always chasing funding, which is quite difficult with us just starting out. Funding in your first year of trying to get funding because you haven't got them books to show your financial year. It's quite difficult, so we as a group have been doing a lot of fundraising ourselves, relying on donations and things like that to uphold the running cost of what we do. A lot of things we try to do combat isolation within the community, so the door's always welcome. If they haven't got money and they're hungry, we will feed them, we will support them with hot drinks and food, and basically they just need a warm space to come and just chat or read a book where they don't have to be bothered. Then they come here.
And for mothers like Cabrina Masgrove, last winter's high bills made every extra degree on the thermostat a difficult choice.
I budgeted for my other bills. It cost me more in gas and electric. and it takes away from my other bills and food supplies and etc. So yeah, it made a big impact on my income basically.
But does she plan to use the city's warm spaces?
I mean, if worse comes to worse, then I'll have to, because I have a little one. I have 2 underage kids. I mean, you can't let them freeze, so you'll have to.
With colder nights now setting in, Salford residents are preparing for another season of balancing warmth and rising costs, hoping community spaces will help them through the autumn and winter.
Even though it's only been open for a few months, Salford Youth Zone is already changing lives by giving young people a place to belong and be supported.
In a city where many people grew up in poverty, this place is life-changing, offering activities, guidance and experience that help young people discover their potential.
In a city where more than 35% of children live below the poverty line, one of the highest rates in the UK according to Wood Street Mission, youth support has never been more urgent. Salford Youth Zone is here to make a change.
I think the slogan is something to eat, something to do and someone to talk to. So it offers about 20 activities, sometimes more, every night, and like a space to be, a free meal, and all for like 50p entry.
Since opening earlier this year, the centre has become a lifeline for young people across Salford.
If it's affordable, then it gets the children off the street. So they're not hanging around on the street, they're not hanging around in gangs, you know, they're not going to be involved with bad people, bad role models, bad influences.
It's really difficult if you come from somewhere that's working class, or if you've not had access to pay for tutors, for acting coaches, for agents, to like even like step into that kind of world. So to have the opportunity to do it here is like fantastic.
According to national youth charity Onside, 84% of young people in the Northwest say their youth zone has made a positive difference in their lives.
I think one of our biggest tasks as youth workers at the moment is to let these young people and their families know we're here for your benefit. We're not here to try to steer you in a certain direction. We are here for your benefit.
For some, stepping through these doors has been the start of finding their voice, their confidence and their sense of who they are.
Extremely shy, extremely nervous. We'd walk around the youth zone together. I'd like drop her off in activities when she felt comfortable. I'd like kind of warm her up, get her sat down, get her comfortable, and then I'd keep checking in with her. Now, she doesn't even looking at me anymore. She doesn't even look. She's there, she's making friends, she's confident, she's doing things, she's mingling, she's laughing.
Behind the doors of Salford Youth Zone, young people can find more than just activities. They discover a community where they can grow, connect, and feel supported.
Like in life, give it a go, try it, make mistakes. If you're gonna make mistakes, do it in a safe environment. If you're gonna be with your mates messing about, building friendships, romantic relationships, do it in a safe environment. That is Salford Youth Zone.
So whether you're a young person between the ages of 8 and 19, or you're interested in volunteering, Salford Youth Zone has something for everybody. Kat Foley, Quays News.
A men's mental health charity based in Little Hulton are taking donations of used Halloween costumes to create a fun and inclusive event that will bring men together and support positive mental health. We are joined with reporter Alyssa Tyra to tell us more.
Heads Up Gentlemen is a men's mental health and wellbeing group founded by Jeff Moritz, who created the group after years of struggling with his own mental health issues. Moritz explained how it is important to have these types of groups within the community because it gives people an alternative due to like there being a backup in the NHS, so you're kind of waiting weeks or months to get to be seen to. So it allows people to be seen immediately when you go into these community groups, and it is because in the UK men face significant mental health challenges, with 3 out of 4 suicides being men and 12.5% experiencing a common mental health disorder.
Now, how long has this operation been running for?
So it's been running for 8 months and it has gained 40 members and it has 4,000 social media followers as well, which is a massive achievement for Jeff and his team, because there tends to be a stigma around men where they feel like they can't talk about their feelings and worries, as they see it as it would be a default to the masculinity. This can be shown through the 36% of the referrals that men only go to the NHS to be accessed by the NHS for the psychological therapies.
So how does this upcoming Halloween event help those in need?
So Maritz aims to bring joy with this event, especially since the days are getting shorter and some people tend to struggle with that. So I spoke to Maritz earlier and he explains more about this.
You know, again, with the weather changing and then the mood's definitely swing, and I've always struggled myself during this time of the year. When I was younger, I didn't realise because Halloween was such a big thing. So again, I'm trying to run with that narrative and getting the guys involved. A lot of our members have struggled being in a group setting within the community, and I know we've done some community barbecues and stuff, and the guys are really opening up. And you know, I've had their family members come to me and say, "We can't believe the change that we've seen in them." So again, yeah, it runs hand in hand, and I feel good laughing. Laughing is number one. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're interested and want to donate, head over to Heads Up Gentlemen on Facebook or their Instagram and drop them a message.
Thank you, Alyssa.
Could it be magic? Take that aback for good. Back with their Circus Live tour, with fans across Manchester needing a little patience before tickets go on sale this Friday. Many fans will pray that it will be their greatest day. Amy McGregor is here to tell us more.
Take That fans are gearing up for an exciting summer with the band's rebooted circus tour announced to touchdown in Manchester in 2026. Originally staged in 2009, the Circus Live broke UK records as the fastest selling tour in history. The show included fire breathers, stilt walkers, clowns, acrobats, and a 30-foot tall mechanical elephant, which carried the band throughout the audience. The announcement from the band on Friday was music to the fans' ears, as it will see one of Take That's most iconic tours hit the road again with 11 dates across the UK and Ireland, with 2 of them being right here at the Etihad Stadium. We spoke to Catherine, a Take That superfan who's been a fan of the band since 1990.
This is a massive tour. The circus was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. I saw it in Sunderland in June 2009. What an atmosphere. I always remember my daughter, she was only 4, and I just imagined what she would think of it. And as it happens, she's going to come with me to this revamped one. Oh, I'm just so excited. I've got so many memories, so many happy memories. Rule the World, seeing that for the first time. In London O2. Amazing patience when they came back. I couldn't believe they'd reformed. That was the best. And then to see them on the Ultimate Tour in 2005. Best thing ever. Best thing ever.
This could be the greatest day of our life.
The band said, "The circus tour was one of our favourite experiences as a band, and in the years since, we've talked many times about how much we'd love to do it again one day. Well, that time has come. We're so excited to welcome audiences, old and new, across the UK and Ireland to the spectacle of the Circus Live next summer. See you out there." Belinda Carlisle and The Script have both been announced as special guests for the tour. The circus arrives in Manchester Friday the 19th and Saturday the 20th of June 2026, and tickets go on sale at 9:30 a.m. on Friday the 26th of September. Amy McGregor, Quays News.
The Salford Red Devils Rugby Club have been hit with sanctions after flouting squad rules during the opening game of the season against St Helens. Fans responded with protests and calls for the club's board to be replaced. We are joined by our reporter Fazila at the Salford Community Stadium to tell us more. Good afternoon, Faz. What can you tell us about the situation?
Well, yesterday late afternoon, the Betfred Super League had announced that Salford had received a 2-point deduction. That does not affect their league position, with a fine of £5,000 due to a breach of a number of RFL operational rules in their team selection for the round 1 fixture at St Helens on the 15th of February.
So, Faz, where did it all start?
Well, since January, the Salford Red Devils have been in turmoil, with a £1.2 million salary cap being placed on them, and were ordered to start selling players without delay. In February, they had been officially taken over by a new consortium, and things were looking better.
So, where did it all go wrong?
At the end of February, it had been revealed that staff at the Red Devils had not been paid and the salary cap had been reimposed. And by March, they had begun selling players, their star players even, and then the wages were late again. That month, with the club saying that irrespective of this, we as players and staff have continued to uphold our commitments with professionalism, ensuring the club remains competitive on and off the field. By June, players and most notably the CEO had left the club, with many players being sold to pay creditors. And only last month the COO had resigned and accused the club's ownership of suggesting she sleep with an individual at the RFL to smooth things over. And in that same month, the fixture with Wakefield Trinity was cancelled due to a shortage of available players, with fans still meeting up and going ahead to protest and march to the stadium. With no clue what's going to happen, the fans have been left in the dark.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Faz. That is all we've got for you today, so thank you for tuning into Quays News.
For all things Salford, keep up with us at Quays News on social media. Goodbye.